Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
So Victor, what he was doing, which is the juicy thing, but he was doing this is weird, we went to court and all that stuff. He was giving me some stuff where it's the cream. You know, Victor had the whole snack thing. Everybody, all the sponsors do a snack now, right? Oh, they would snack. I would snack. But snack is Victor Conti. So what Victor said, what happened with me is I told Victor, I said, listen, when I fought Oscar the second time, I said, listen, I don't need nothing I'm strong, I'm everything. I don't need this. The second time I fought, this is the only time, I seen Victor 2 times live. One time when he drew my blood, the next time when we went to court. So he gives me cream. I believe it's testosterone, something else. Clearing. So I take that, and then the other thing was the injectable for your back members. So I said, okay, well, anything you give me, you call the commission and see if it's all good and clear. Victor said, okay, yeah, everything's clear. You're not going to get popped for anything. I said, okay, cool. I'm good. So I'm fine. I never tested positive for steroids. Never. Never tested positive for steroids. So when I showed up, they test me, what happened? They said, oh, Shane got popped with steroids. Never got popped with steroids, ever. You can look at the things, never. It's only that I was associated with Victor Conti, who is now associated with the whole boxing world today.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode, another edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. We need answers. I want to just say this real quick because word on the street is that Devin Haney hired Sugar Shane Mosley Sr. in this camp as his new trainer. I have a few questions I want to ask about that. But before I get into that, let me welcome each and every last one of you that are joining me live in living color. Welcome. If you're watching the replay of this live, I appreciate your viewership. Welcome. If you are a hater, a spy, or detractor of minds or this channel, this platform, I welcome you as well. Come on in. Hold the door because somebody else behind you wants to come in. Yep, come on in. And grab a plate now. Before you take a seat, grab a plate. I have some food I want to serve you. Some food for thought. Before I get to Devin Haney and him and his dad, Bill Haney, hiring Sugar Shane Mosley, Sr., that is, Hall of Fame professional boxer, former multi-world champion, or multiple weight class, or multi-division world champion, that is. I want to give my spill on three fathers in the sport of boxing right now. Double salute to all the members of the channel. Double salute to all of the supervisors of the Roll the Tape Film crew who's here live in living color. I got the I got the hottest chat on YouTube, bar none. Best audience. And yes, I share an audience or the same audience members that frequent this channel also frequent my counterparts on YouTube in the boxing community. And that's okay. I have the best YouTube boxing audience in the game right now. Hands down, bar none. There's three fathers I want to talk about. Bill Haney, Brian Norman Sr., and Floyd Schofield Sr. I want to talk about these three dads for a hot minute. And then we're gonna get on to Devin Haney and Bill Haney hiring Sugar Shane Mosley Sr. as the new trainer in this camp with Devin Haney's upcoming fight with Jose Ramirez. I have a few questions on that. Yes, I know that Jose Benavidez Sr. is a dad, and I also know Teofimo Lopez Sr. is a dad. I don't want to touch on those two just yet. In fact, I want to do another segment talking about those two together. But for today, I just want to deal with the three dads that I just previously mentioned. I want to talk about them for a second. Now, who should I start with? Okay, let's start in the reverse order of the names I just mentioned. Floyd Schofield Sr. He is the father of Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield Jr., right? Now, there are recent posts that he himself posted now. Himself, where he talked about his son, Kid Austin, fighting Abdullah Mason, okay, for $2.5 million. Let me see if we can pull that up for a second. Okay. We're having some technical difficulties right now. But I'm going to do a separate video on this because I want you all to hear him say it himself. Okay? But the bottom line is this. Floyd Schofield Sr., right? The father of Floyd Schofield Jr., a.k.a. Kid Austin. Some of y'all may not remember who he is. Some of you may remember who he is. I'm talking about the father who was caught on camera in his house, physically abusing and assaulting a woman whom I believe and who we all believe at this point he had a romantic involvement or romantic relationship with at some point of time. I don't know if he's still with the woman or not. But he wound up choking this woman and slamming this woman on the ground even after she told him that she couldn't breathe. And he told this woman, this all on tape now. All of you know I'm not making this up. He told this woman that he would BLOW her head off. I don't want YouTube to strike this live. Everybody in the world at this point knows that my channel has been shadow banned. It's no secret now. But when you start talking about DV incidents, I'm not even going to say the words, but the first letter starts with D in one word, and the first letter starts with V in another word. When you start talking about DV incidents on YouTube and being more candid about it, YouTube don't take that lightly. Now, he told this woman that he's going to BLOW her head off. Don't get mad at me. That's what he said. That's what we talking about. Just to give people a reminder of who we're talking about. Okay? Double salute to all the members of the channel, supervisors of the Roll the Tape film crew. That's in the chat live in living color. Now, that what we talking about him. And by the way, the latter part of that video showed that his son, Kid Austin, the professional boxer, was a witness. That what we talking about him. I just wanted to give everybody, because some people might not know who I'm talking about. But that's who I'm talking about. That's him. Him. Floyd Schofield Sr. Him. You might not know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you another reference. I'm talking about the guy who told everybody, in his own words now, that his son signed a contract to compete in the ring in a professional bout with Golden Boy Promotions, his promoter, for a 10-round fight. However, a few minutes before his son was to make his ring entrance in that said fight, members of the commission came into the locker room of Kid Austin and informed him that instead of him having to compete for 10 rounds, which is the rounds that he claimed that his son signed the contract for, he will be now forced to compete for an additional 2 rounds for a total of 12 rounds. All this happened in his last fight, by the way. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all might not remember that I've published a video giving my reaction to that a few months back when this happened, allegedly. Do your research and go on my channel and find it if you need a reference. Now, that's what we talking about. Now that we realize who I'm talking about, Floyd Schofield Sr., I have a few things I want to talk about him, regarding him. But before I start talking about him and using some illustration, there's another situation that happened. Yeah, man. And some of y'all might not remember this. I want y'all to know who I'm talking about now. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. I'm going to get to my points. Just be patient. I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. with regards to who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy who accused me in an email. Don't make me pull it up. I'll put it on the screen right now for real, for real. You want me to? I will do that. He accused me of doing something illegal by publishing that home video that was already leaked online, and someone actually sent me the video of him committing DV against the woman that he was dating, and then he threatened to sue me. Y'all remember that? He said these words in the email that he sent me the same night that that video was published on this channel, even though 24 hours prior, the video was already leaked all over the internet. But he said, I'm going to sue you and file a lawsuit against you after we finish fighting Shakur Stevenson. Now, at that time, him, his son, and Shakur Stevenson was beefing, and this was around the time where it was already set in stone that Shakur Stevenson was going to compete against his son in February of 2025. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. Oh, okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all know who I was talking about. In fact, he didn't file a lawsuit yet. If he did, I haven't heard anything about it. But the man threatened to sue me. Now, what I'm trying to figure out about that, and I said this before, but it just hit me again. How was he going to go to court to file a lawsuit against me to prove his case that I published a video where he was committing DV and physically assaulting a woman, which is on tape, by the way? How are he going to win that case against me, proving that I leaked the video when he's on the video committing a crime? I'm just trying. I'm just trying to figure out what judge in America was going to let him win that case. That's all I'm trying to figure. I don't need to hire an attorney for that. In fact, if you go by where Rachel Donier done told y'all last year, I'm broke. Y'all remember that? Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure we all, we all on the same page, so y'all know who I'm talking about. That's who I'm. Hey, that's the guy I'm talking about. Okay. Double salute to my guy. He's the member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew, Mr. Gregory Quarterbaum. Thank you, Mr. Greg, for your contribution and your support to the channel. Mr. Greg says in the super chat, greetings, Manager Marty and the Road to Tape family. This epidemic of these troublesome fathers slash managers screwing up their sons' career is crazy. Social media has fooled them and inflated their sense of importance. Thank you, Mr. Greg, for the super chat. And you know that's the lane that I will be traveling in this portion of the show. Thanks again, Mr. Greg. Appreciate you. Now, Floyd Schofield Sr. has done a terrible job, in my opinion. And when I say in my opinion, I mean that professionally speaking. As, you know, the manager of Walmart's and the manager of shopping carts at Target. Thank you, Bill Haney. Professionally speaking, right? Because when I look at the moves that was made from a business perspective with Floyd Schofield Sr. as the manager of his son, Kid Austin, I haven't seen a move yet that made me say to myself, hey, man, you know what? That was a good business move that Floyd Sr. made on behalf of his client, his son. Me personally, I mean, I haven't seen one. Because the last move that was made, which was really made by the promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, and the promotion company Golden Boy Promotions and, Eric Gomez, Kid Austin was scheduled to fight Shakur Stevenson in Saudi Arabia, February of 2025. All that trash Floyd Sr. done talked on YouTube, going on platform after platform after platform, denigrating, undermining, discrediting, and disrespecting Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis and Devin Haney. They go to Saudi Arabia and never got a chance to collect a check because his son allegedly got sick. I don't know if a doctor diagnosed them with cold feet. I don't even know if that's a legitimate medical condition. Cold feet. Is it? I don't know. But anyway, he never got a chance to even get the check from Turki Al-Ashiki and the other promoters there because his son never even competed in the ring. What we did see, though, is Floyd Schofield Sr., the guy who I'm talking about. He posted a video on social media, a reel, of his son laying in the hospital bed asleep and had the nerve to include music in the background. Y'all remember that? On that post I'm referring to. And still have yet to come out with the paperwork to claim what the doctor diagnosed his son with that prevented that fight from happening. I don't go by what these people say on YouTube. None of them. None of them. I'm a person that's in the business. I need to see the paperwork. I haven't seen any paperwork from Floyd. In fact, we haven't even seen Floyd Jr. make a public statement yet. I mean, I haven't. Some of you may have seen it. I haven't seen it. Me personally. Now, if you've seen it, y'all let me know. I haven't. One time, I've never seen it. I've never seen an interview yet where Floyd Schofield Jr., a.k.a. Kid Austin, the son, the professional boxer, make a public statement after they, meaning they, him and his father, arrived back in America. All of that happened in February. February. Third week, by the way. Third week of February. What, we're entering the third week in April? Nearly 60 days, and the young man, the professional fighter, not the father, the professional fighter, the professional boxer, haven't made one public statement yet about that situation. But yet and still, we see his dad, Floyd Sr., eating all the collard greens, eating all the hog maws, eating all the pig feet. Y'all remember that movie Friday? Oh, okay. All up in the videos, dancing, jumping on platform after platform after platform, talking about what happened in Saudi Arabia, talking about what's next for his son, talking about how well his son is doing. But we haven't seen Kid Austin publicly on YouTube or in any interviews in the media. I mean, if you've seen it, y'all tell me. I haven't seen it, me personally. Nor have I seen any moves that the manager slash father, Floyd Schofield Sr., made to not only restore his son's image, but to actually negotiate with Golden Boy Promotions to immediately put Kid Austin back in the ring to keep him active since he's doing so well physically. I haven't seen that either. Me personally, I haven't seen it. Haven't heard of any moves being made either. That's all I'm saying. Moving right along. Second father, Brian Norman Sr. I mean, the guy has been jumping on platform after platform after platform, and now he is making a resurgence on these multiple platforms, trying to defend himself and his son and their reason for turning down the fight with Boots Ennis. Now, he claimed that they didn't turn down the fight with Boots Ennis, Jerron Boots Ennis. We know that that is what he's saying. However, with that being said, he's also talking about how bad Boots is as a fighter. Once again, he's another father that's diminishing, discrediting, and undermining another fighter in Boots. He's talking about how much his son will beat Boots, how his son, Brian Norman Jr., will knock Boots out, how Boots is easy work for his son. But yet and still, I haven't seen Brian Norman Jr. within the last 30 days conduct any public interviews yet. You may have seen it, but I haven't. Once again, another father eating all the hog mogs, eating all the collard greens, eating all the pig feet, jumping in the videos, dancing. That's who we're talking about, Brian Norman Sr. In fact, it's gotten to a point now, to my understanding, that Brian Norman Sr. is now physically threatening a content creator, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. I'm not going to speak on that situation because that has nothing to do with me, nor does that have anything to do with the business of boxing. So there's no leeway for me to use that situation to illustrate my point about the business of boxing. Now, let's get back to the image of his son. Because the only image that we see for Brian Norman Jr. is through his dad. And once again, that's the problem. That is the most egregious problem out of all of the things that I can speak on regarding public relations. Let's go back to Floyd Schofield Jr., Kid Austin. We don't know what his selling power is. Why don't we know what his selling power is? Because when the last time you saw him headline a card in his own hometown, televised via pay-per-view? You haven't seen it once. Now, same thing, Brian Norman Jr. When is the last time you've seen Brian Norman Jr. headline a card in his own hometown? Period, whether it be pay-per-view, televised and or untelevised. You haven't seen it. Once again, there's two fathers right there sabotaging the careers of their sons because you know why? When they speak, we've caught both of these fathers in multiple lies. I know I have. And another thing that they have in common, they don't know anything about the business of boxing because everything that they say is going to be used against them in the public court of law. And the bottom line is this: their sons keep having to play the background. So the fan base is only connecting through the image and with the image of the fathers, which is not only hurting the image of the sons, but is also hurting their credibility in the business because fans are not supporting what their fathers are saying and doing, not even the casuals. So nobody's really buying a ticket. In fact, their promoters haven't put money behind them yet. Golden Boy Promotions, to my understanding, is promoting Floyd Schofield Jr., aka Kid Austin, correct? Okay. Golden Boy Promotions haven't put a lot of money behind this young man yet, giving him that push yet. Not saying that they won't. I'm just telling you up to date. They haven't done so yet. Brian Norman Jr., who was he signed with? Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, right? Top Rank haven't put the money behind Brian Norman Jr. yet. Not saying that they're not going to, but I haven't seen them do it yet. But their fathers have the most to say. And that's all I'm saying. Third father, Bill Haney, William Haney to be exact. Hey, Bill! Y'all don't know who I'm talking about? Some of y'all know. Some of y'all know who I'm talking. I'm talking about the guy who was just here on this platform a couple weeks ago. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Bill Haney was in my chat? And once again, he did not click the link. Now, some of y'all want to take up for him, and that's fine with me. But why didn't he click the link and come up here to talk to me directly? Now, the reason why I'm asking that question is because Bill Haney is the one who went on Fight Hub TV, a platform that has upward of 2 million subscribers. Y'all remember that a couple months ago? Y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. And he told the guy, what's his name? Marcos? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his name is Marcos, right? The host, the person who owns that channel, that platform, right? He told Marcos that there's a content creator on YouTube who's the manager of Walmart and, the managers of the world, managers of Target. And Marcos cut him off and said, no, 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 Bill, we don't want that on this channel. And Marcos was laughing like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Fight Hub TV know who I am. They all know who I am on YouTube at this point. Because I was who I was in boxing before I even got on YouTube. But the point that I'm making is Bill Haney had enough kahunas, balls, to call me a manager of Walmart and Target behind my back on multiple platforms. But yet he didn't have that same kahuna, those same balls, and that same energy to click that link and come up and tell me that right here on this channel to my face. That's what we talking about. We talking about him. The guy who claims that he's the 2023 manager of the year because the Boxing Writers Association basically gave him that award, that plaque. But he's the same guy in 2023, by the way, that walked his son over to sign guaranteed contracts as the CEO of DHP, Devin Haney Promotions. And speaking of DHP, I had a quick question on that. Did they ever, I'm talking about they meaning DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, Did they ever, how can I say this? Organize a boxing event under DHP? Solely DHP. I'm not talking about in conjunction with Matchroom, in conjunction with Top Rank. I'm just asking, did they ever, the Haneys? And if they have, when was the last time and how many shows did they put on? Because I can tell you, Danny Garcia, a promoter, he put on several different shows as a promoter for DSG Promotions. Even Boots Promotions, Jerron Boots Ennis, he's done several shows under his promotion banner. I'm not talking about in conjunction with now. I'm not talking about a co-promotion. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about solely, independently, where they have to put up their own money along with the sponsorship money with no network deal. They haven't? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what's going on. Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So they're just a promotion company in name. Anybody can build an entity or an LLC. That's easy. Anybody, that's easy. We know you. But are they conducting actual business? No. Okay. Once again, another father jumping on platform after platform after platform, eating up all the collard greens, all the hog maws, all the pig feet, all in the videos, dancing. Once again, while his son is playing the background and he's taking all of the shine, jumping on platform after platform, interview after interview that he's facilitating. And guess what? Is diminishing the credibility of his son. All three of these fathers have that in common. Floyd Schofield Sr., Brian Norman Sr., and Bill Haney. And all three of them are black. All three of them have this inflated self-image. They use projection. They all have gaslighted. They all have manipulated members of the media and members of the public with these tactics. Self-grandiose. It's all about them. And guess what else all three of them have in common? All three of them are extremely fragile and sensitive. What do I mean by that? They can dish it out very well. All three of them. They can talk with aggression. They diminish and criticize others. But when you comment or say something that's truthful and confront all three of those fathers, Floyd Schofield Sr., Brian Norman Sr., and Bill Haney, they are so sensitive. I just named at least 6 behavior characteristics that will actually qualify them, allowing a medical professional and a mental health professional to diagnose them with a personality disorder. Because all three of them give me personality disorder vibes based on those characteristics I just named. I'm not a mental health professional. But guess what? Victor Conti's not a medical professional. And fighters are still allowing him to extract their blood. Hello. And give them recommendations and diagnosing them. Hello. And prescribing them. Hello. But people accept Victor Conti even though he is not a medical professional. But if I say that these three fathers are giving me personality disorder vibes and I'm not a mental health professional, I'm a hater. When I confront these three men, because you know why I'm confronting them? This is why. It's very simple. because the behavior patterns and their words and actions causes their sons, the professional boxers, consequences. And all three of their sons have suffered consequences. All three of them. Kid Austin, Brian Norman Jr., and even Devin Haney. They all three have suffered consequences and are suffering consequences as we speak right now. Because I advocate for the fighter. Double salute to RMCG. Thank you for your support and your contribution to the channel, RMCG, representing the UK. I love my fans over in the UK. This is what RMCG says in the super chat. Peace, Manager Marty. Speaking of fathers, what's your thoughts on Chris Bank Sr.? What's your thoughts on Chris Eubank Sr. objecting to his son Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn fighting next week due to his concerns over the weight from the UK? Well, that's because Chris Eubank Sr. and his son have a strained relationship, to my understanding. And Chris Eubank Sr. is not in the camp, and he hasn't been in the camp by his son's wishes, to my understanding, and he has raised some concerns, and some are legitimate from the interviews that I've heard Chris Eubank Sr. speak on regarding his son. There is a big weight difference, but because those guys are major stars in your country, the UK, Eddie Hearn and Chris Eubank Jr.'s representation, they've obviously at this point come to terms again to make this fight happen. And it's unfortunate that the fight didn't happen a while ago because of Conor Benn's positive test results for PEDs. So my thoughts on it is it don't make a difference what Chris Eubank Sr. object to at this point. His son signed on the dotted line. And I believe they are fighting next weekend. Or is it this weekend? I think they're fighting this weekend, excuse me. So the fight and the show must go on. But there is a significant weight difference. And hey, if Chris Eubank Jr. win, he deserved credit. It's unfortunate because when the fight was supposed to happen, while they both made weight originally, unfortunately now it's a weight disparity. So let the show go on. And I have a lot of respect for all of them over there in the UK. Double salute to my guy. He's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew, Jeremy Austin. Thank you for your support and your contribution to the channel. Appreciate you, man. Much love. So, next weekend? All right, thank you. So they do fight next weekend. Double salute to my guy, Fanon, International Boxing Channel, was in the building. What's up, Fanon? So when you look at Floyd Schofield Sr., when you look at Brian Norman Sr., when you look at Bill Haney, all three of these fathers, they do the same thing based on their behavior patterns, man. They do the same thing. And guess what? All three of them have lied to the public on numerous of occasions, in multiple interviews, on multiple platforms. Outright lie. Seriously. You ask one, listen, if you ask one, and I watch other people interview these three fathers, and every time a hard question is being asked to them, they always deflect, refuse to answer the question, manipulate the interviewer and the public. They all three diminish other fighters, discredit other fighters, disrespect other professional boxers and fighters, criticizing them. They use projection. They make excuses. When the last time you heard Bill Haney apologize publicly? I'm just asking the question. When is the last time you heard Bill Haney himself, another behavior characteristic of someone who has a mental health personality disorder, never admit they're wrong and they're always the victim? But anyway, when is the last time you all heard Bill Haney say, you know what, I was wrong on that. I should not have said that. I should not have done that. And I apologize to my son and I apologize to everyone else. When? Oh, okay. There's another characteristic that all three of these fathers have in common. All three of them, I don't know why they do this, but all three of them always want to project this image of being a gangster and a tough guy. All three of them. Floyd Schofield Sr., Brian Norman Sr., and Bill Haney. All three of them. I'm just keeping it all the way 100 with you, being completely transparent and honest. Y'all can say I'm hating, but we got to keep it 100 and be honest and tell the truth. All three of these fathers have that also in common, equally in common. Always want to project the image that they're gangsters and tough guys. Ain't get in the ring and throw a punch, but they tough guys. And I'm talking about now. Yes, we know Brian Norman Sr. just got finished fighting Greg Hackett, but at the same time, before that, he ain't been in the ring in over 14 years. At least he does have some professional experience. At least Schofield have some boxing experience. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're not getting into physical altercations on the regular, on the street. They're not on the block holding no block down in the street. That's what when I say gangster, I'm talking about a real, true gangster in the street. They're not doing that. What they are doing, in my opinion, is living vicariously through their sons. You know what I thought about the other day about Brian Norman Sr.? Brian Norman Sr. actually wants to fight Boots. I figured it out, y'all. Brian Norman Sr. want to fight Boots. Yeah, I said it. He don't want his son to fight Jaron Ennis. He wants to fight Boots through his son. Let me say that again. Brian Norman Sr. does not want his son to fight Boots. Yeah. You know why? Brian Norman Sr. wants to fight Boots himself. But he wants to fight Boots himself through his son. He don't want his son to fight Boots. And he know his son ain't built like that to beat Boots. And we all know that. I'm talking about skill for skill, punch for punch, power for power, technique for technique in comparison. And I'm not saying he won't put up a good fight against Boots. And I don't think Brian Norman Jr. is scared of Boots. But at the same time, he know his son can't beat Boots. Because they doing too much talking without signing that document. And guess what? If I was Eddie Hearn and promoting the fight, like if I was promoting Boots, Brian Norman Sr., y'all can do all this YouTube media tour runs. You ain't gonna get paid no more than $800,000. That's my maximum. Between $500,000 to $800,000 is what I am willing to pay you to fight Boots in a unification fight. You lost the leverage that little bit of leverage you thought you had with that one belt. You literally just lost that. And you was hanging by needle and threads with that. But now that Boots did tremendously at the gate in the third consecutive fight within 9 months, I'm talking about a boxing event within 9 months. You know, Boots fought 3 times in 9 months. Okay. All 3 were successful events. One in July of 2024, hometown, Wells Fargo Center. 4 months later, spent the block, went back to the Wells Fargo Center in November 2024, and then in April on the East Coast, Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I was there at 2 out of the 3 fights, by the way. So I know what I saw. Bottom line is 3 consecutive successful events. And won another major world title in a unification bout in dramatic fashion at home. And what did you do, Brian Norman Jr.? You fought a guy coming off a 2-year layoff? You were supposed to do what you did to him in the 3rd round of your last fight. We get it. But just a year ago, just 1 year ago to the date, in March of 2024, go do your research. In March of 2024, Brian Norman Jr. got knocked down from a right hand. And then in his last fight, his knee buckled. Y'all remember that? See, some of y'all did not know that. And some of y'all did know that and forgot. Brian Norman Jr. got knocked down in the fight before he fought for the world title. This is a year ago. Literally got knocked down. I mean, he got back up. You know, if Boots would have hit him with that same punch, he probably wouldn't have got back up. And if he would have gotten back up, Boots would have just stopped him. It's unfortunate that we have to do this. All 3 of these fathers, unfortunately, are hurting and sabotaging the careers of their sons. And it's so sad because they all 3 are living vicariously through their sons. We haven't seen none of their sons conduct an interview yet within the last 30 days. And we've seen more of them, the fathers, in interviews opposed to the sons. When the last time you seen Devin Haney do an interview? Bill Haney has been on Cigar Talk. Bill Haney has been on Vlad TV. Bill Haney has been on The Art of Dialogue. And we're still waiting for Devin Haney to be on those 3 shows. Interesting. Double salute to my homegirl, Ty. She's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew. Ty says in the super chat, keep shedding light on the shameful behavior of these quote-unquote grown men who embarrass their sons simply because they are narcissistic and can't help themselves. It's so sad. I mean, it really is. And I have another thing to say that these 3 fathers have in common. All 3 of them have had an opportunity to click that link and come sit down and talk to me. And guess what? None of them did it yet. Floyd Schofield Sr., he been watching my channel. Brian Norman Sr., he's been watching my channel. Bill Haney, he's been watching my channel. I'm still waiting for those guys to click the link. I want to ask these guys a few questions. And this is not to diminish the other content creators. In fact, I want to give credit to all of the content creators, whether they like me or not. I want to give all the other content creators a double salute. I'm not a hater. I give all the content creators a double salute who has had these three men on their platform. Whether they had all three of them on there or just one of them or both, doesn't matter. Any content creator on YouTube that has had one, two, or all three of these men on their platform, double salute to those men and women. I don't know all of them, but I'm just saying. I'm double saluting all of them. I'm giving them credit where it is deserved. Because guess what? Those three men will not come on this platform. I hope in the near future or soon they will click the link. Now, Bill Haney did come on the platform. Oh, Bill Haney was here in the chat, but he refused to click the link. And the actual show was about him, and his face was in the thumbnail, and his name was in my title. See, I don't sneak diss anybody. And speaking of Bill Haney and sneak dissing, I had a question about the training aspect because I was told years ago that Bill Haney was Devin Haney's trainer. But nobody can show me on YouTube yet where Bill Haney is holding the focus mitts for his son Devin. No one can show me yet where Bill Haney is holding the heavy bag, teaching his son how to throw a jab correctly. No one can show me a YouTube video yet where Bill Haney is teaching his son effective head moving, effective bob and weaving, effective pull counters, effective slipping and dipping, effective get behind your stick. Now, if there's videos out there, please email it to me. What I have seen Bill Haney do, though, is hire other trainers for his son to work with in the gym. But on fight night, who's the chief second? Who's the head trainer on fight night in the corner? Bill Haney. Have you ever heard Bill Haney give his son any motivation in the corner when he's wearing a microphone or a lavalier in major fights? Have you heard Bill Haney give his son any effective instructions? I mean, I did hear him say a lot, get up under it. You got to get up under the hook, whatever that means. But yet and still, when his son needs him the most, when he's confronted by tough scenarios in that ring, Bill Haney don't know what to say. He's never done it before. And we've seen it in the Lomachenko fight when his son was in trouble, looking for answers. And we've seen it in the Ryan Garcia fight when his son was in trouble, looking for answers. No adjustments, none. That's all I'm saying. And speaking of trainer, Bill Haney was on Cigar Talk in the interview. So shout out to Cigar Talk for the interview. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I did hear the part where Bill Haney confirmed in the beginning that Shane Mosley is in the corner in the gym as the trainer in this camp for this upcoming fight between Jose Ramirez and Devin Haney. Now, some of y'all might have forgot about this. I haven't. I had this locked in the vault for nearly a year. And you've heard me use this piece of content. So shout out to the Art of Dialogue, who was interviewing Shane Mosley, Sr., Hall of Fame, multi-division world champion. Y'all remember that? It's on your screen. Go on and look at it. May 4th, 2024. Because I have some questions about the connection now between Shane Mosley and Devin Haney. And yes, I understand that they all represent the state of California. I get it. I had some questions about it. And I hope y'all don't mind Here's something, and I played this in a video 3 weeks ago, using this as an illustration for another point that I was referencing. But here's what Sugar Shane Mosley said in an interview published on May 4th, 2024 with The Art of Dialogue. Let's hear what Sugar Shane Mosley said about the SNAC program. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
So Victor, what he was doing, which is a juicy thing, when he was in this is weird, when he went to court and all that stuff, he was giving me some stuff where it's the cream. You know, Victor had the whole SNAC thing. Everybody, both the sponsors do a SNAC now, right? Oh, they would SNAC, I would SNAC, I would SNAC. But SNAC is Victor Conte. So when Victor said, what happened with me is I told Victor, I said, listen, when I fought Oscar the second time, I said, listen, I don't need nothing I'm strong, I'm everything. I don't need this. The second time I fought, this is the only time, I said Victor 2 times in my life. One time when he drew my blood, the next time when we went to court. So he gives me cream. I believe it's testosterone, something else, clearing. So I take that, and then the other thing was the injectable was for your tobacco. So I said, okay, well, anything you give me, I told Victor, anything you give me, you call the commission and see if it's all good and clear. Victor said, okay, yeah, everything's clear. You're not going to get popped for anything else like that. Cool. I'm good. So I never tested positive for steroids. Never tested positive for steroids. So when I, they test me, nothing happened. Because Shane got popped with steroids. Never got popped with steroids, ever. If you look at that thing, it's never. It's only that I was associated with Victor Conte, who is now associated with the whole boxing world today.
Those were the words of Sugar Shane Mosley. In fact, he even believed that Victor Conte is still up to no good. In fact, Shane Mosley claimed earlier in this same interview that Victor Conte is still doing the same thing in his opinion. You heard Shane Mosley say he's never tested positive for any PEDs or steroids, even though he was on the SNAC program. Interesting. Well, I mean, if you look at Shane Mosley's physique when he went to Victor Conte, particularly in that second fight with Oscar De La Hoya, you've seen the results of that fight and the results of his physique. I mean, look at Devin Haney now. My God, I watched Devin Haney's physique change within the last 4 years. And I have all the pictures to prove it because I've been screenshotting and following this for the last 4 years. And of course, 2 of those 4 years, I have not been on YouTube at all. As a content creator, I told you all I've been doing research on this 15 years, right? Oh, okay. I mean, the guy looks like Lex Luger. Go on and look at your screen. That's what he looked like. Don't get mad at us. Don't get mad at me and the roller tape film crew. The man look at him. They on your screen, both of them. My goodness. Look at his obliques. Look just like Lex Luger. And we know what Lex was doing. Hey, Bill! What you take your son over there for? Why did you go over there? Go on and look at your screen. Bam! People gonna get mad at us all day for this. Hey, it is what it is. They went over to Victor Conte. Don't get mad at us. I told y'all about a phone booth for the last 2 years that the SNAC program works. I told y'all. It works. And so all I'm trying to figure out is if Sugar Shane Mosley spoke with so much passion about the SNAC program in interviews, If Sugar Shane Mosley talked with so much passion about Victor Conti in multiple interviews, if Sugar Shane Mosley understood how his body felt, he said it in that same interview. Okay. Y'all didn't hear that part because I clipped this particular piece out. I extracted that particular piece from that interview, but in that entire interview, go back and listen to it about Victor Conti and SNAC. He says it, how it made his body feel. I'm talking about the PEDs that Victor Conti was supplying him. I'm just trying to figure out from Shane Mosley, you comfortable with working with a fighter that's working with SNAC and Victor Conti? Because we all know that Devin Haney is with the SNAC program, and we all know that he's Victor Conti's poster child. He has the longer, Devin Haney has the longest tenure on the SNAC program with Victor Conti than anyone else over there on the SNAC program, meaning any other fighter, any other professional boxer that's on the SNAC program right now. Oh yeah, Devin Haney is the longest tenure. He's the longest tenured SNAC fighter. Why do you think Victor Conti only posts his quote unquote results through the VADA documents? You notice that? When the last time you seen Victor Conti on Twitter post anyone else's quote unquote negative test results from VADA? And when I say test results, I'm not talking about directly from the Smart Tool lab. I'm talking about through VADA with their letterhead on the paperwork, and they email and mail the documents to the fighters to say you were tested on, let's say, January the 1st, 2025. Your test results are negative. He posts that only when it comes to Devin Haney. Can't find Victor Conti posting that on his Twitter account for no other fighter, and not even Terrence Crawford, a guy who has no public record that he was tested in his last 4 fights with VADA and Victor. And you know I'm the only content creator that pointed that out. I cracked that case wide open. The point I'm trying to make with Shane Mosley is, how can you be so comfortable working with a SNAC fighter who's associated with a guy who was giving you the juice, and you're watching the physique of this young man, Devin Haney, develop? You mean to tell me Shane Mosley don't see nothing that's suspicious? Go on and look at Devin's body and his physique right now. That's the most recent picture that's on your screen. Hey, listen, don't get mad at us. They posted the picture. How you gonna get mad at me for publishing it? They posted it first. I'm just asking questions. How can he be so comfortable? I'm just asking. Because he knows Devin Haney's with the SNAC program. He knows that Devin Haney is the poster child of Victor Conti and the #1 SNAC fighter over there. He knows that 85% of Devin Haney's accomplishments have come from his performances being enhanced through the SNAC program. Shane Mosley knows that. Remember, Shane Mosley was the same one, which is what the context was in that interview I just played. He was defending Ryan Garcia. Shane Mosley was defending Ryan Garcia in multiple interviews regarding the test results of Ryan Garcia. And actually, I'm going to do a video on this, so don't worry about it. I'm going to actually have the actual audio of Shane Mosley saying it himself. But he actually said that something fishy was going on, in his opinion. Why? Because Victor Conti helped found VADA, helped start VADA. has close connections and influence to VADA, the testing agency. Hey, that's what Shane Mosley said. Don't get mad at me. So you mean to tell me, Shane Mosley, that you believe Victor Conti is still up to the same practices that he was 20 years ago and beyond with the Balco scandal? You mean to tell me, Shane Mosley, you believe that Victor Conti has so much influence because he helped start the testing agency that's testing these athletes? You mean to tell me, Sugar Shane Mosley, that you believe that Victor Conti has entered the sport of boxing because of the lack of accountability and regulation so that he can continue to do what he's been doing, like he was doing with you, supplying you PEDs? But yet and still, you're working with his number one professional boxer in Devin Haney. That's interesting to me. I'm just trying to figure out, and this is not to discredit Sugar Shane Mosley. He is a Hall of Fame fighter. In fact, we just saw Sugar Shane Mosley fight, what, about a year ago? Not even, almost a year ago, matter of fact, almost a year ago. About a few months ago, but almost a year ago, a few months ago. He was on Celebrity Boxing with my man Damon Feldman, the owner. You know what I mean? It's my guys over there. But I'm just saying, we just seen Shane Mosley compete. What was that, in September? Somewhere around there? Yeah, I think it was September 2024. Inside the ring, I'm saying. So kudos to Shane, but I'm just trying to figure out. So you working with a SNAC fighter now, Shane? I mean, get your bag, Shane. I'm not here to step on nobody's toes or making no money legitimately in America. I'm just trying to figure out why Devin, of all fighters, when he's associated with a guy that you don't like, a guy you believe that's still doing the same thing he was doing with you when he was supplying you PEDs and helping you beat the test. Because you just heard Shane Mosley say, I never tested positive for PEDs and steroids, but yet Victor Conti was giving me that clear. But yet Victor Conti was giving me that cream. Notice how he never said Victor Conti was giving him supplements. Because Victor Conti was selling snack products and supplements and ZMA back then too. Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. I'd love to get an interview with Shane Mosley. And I reached out to Shane a long time ago. Actually, matter of fact, after the interview dropped, about a year ago, in May of 2024, when the interview dropped, I reached out to Shane Mosley via social media. I haven't heard a response back from him. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just asking questions. Double salute to my guy, Mr. Greg, again with the super chat. Thanks, Mr. Greg. I appreciate your support. Mr. Greg says, when Devin was faced with a crisis in the ring, getting his head handed to him by Ryan is where he needed guidance from Bill Haney and did not get it. Totally agree. In fact, Bill Haney didn't even throw the towel in and waved the fight off so his son can fight another day without losing something. Because it remains to be seen if Devin Haney got beat up only physically or beat down. It remains to be seen. But I want to leave everybody with this note, and I want to leave it as a thought-provoking note. For anybody that don't agree with me, this includes you as well. You are a detractor, this includes you as well. I do have a question. Everybody can answer this, rhetorically speaking. When it comes to Floyd Schofield Sr., Brian Norman Sr., and Bill Haney, show me a time where their son's career have been promoted from what they have said and they have done. as fathers and managers of their sons. In other words, is people keep criticizing me when I speak on these fathers, particularly Bill Haney. And you know what they say? They say, Manager Marty, come on. You're hating. Bill Haney is only promoting his son. So if that's the case with these fathers doing more interviews than their sons, getting more of the public spotlight than their sons, and it's all because they're promoting their sons, show me something that has happened in a positive way from a business perspective where their sons actually benefited from what they said and what they've done as fathers and or managers. Because the last time I checked, Brian Norman Jr. just fought on the undercard as a world champion. He fought on Michaela's undercard, and he's a world champion. He wasn't even the headline. How did that matriculate into a bigger bag or a bigger promotion? The last time I checked, Devin Haney is fighting on the undercard of a guy who he claimed cheated him and used PEDs, and Ryan Garcia. And the last time I checked about Floyd Schofield Jr., he don't have a fight lined up yet from Golden Boy. Nor was he the headliner yet when it comes to him selling any pay-per-views. So show me where these tactics of their fathers, all three of these fathers, show me where their promotional tactic and the tactics of their characteristics that I believe gives me personality disorder vibes have catapulted and matriculated and translated into their three sons being bigger than what they were prior to their father saying and doing what they've done thus far. Because I haven't seen it yet, where their sons benefited in the business of boxing now. When I say benefited, and I'm not talking about materialistic things as far as money, buying jewelry and buying cars. I'm not talking about that. Because anytime a fighter competes in the ring, they're going to get paid. I'm talking about from a business perspective, where their images, where their ticket sales, where their pay-per-view buys, where their demand have increased. Because I haven't seen it yet. From Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield Jr., Brian Norman Jr., or Devin Haney. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.